Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Marvel Multiverse role-playing game, the Iron Snow campaign. And at this point, Green Goblin is standing on top of the Capitol building, directly next to Storm, and the two of them are looking down, and Cyclops and Jubilee are yelling at each other in the street. Cyclops has told Jubilee, "This is the last time you're second guessing me on a mission. I know you're trying to have your comeuppance." And Jubilee's like, "I'm not having to try my comeuppance. I'm telling you, you're no longer leader of the X-Men." So Jubilee is throwing it down. She's like, "Scott, Cyclops, you are no longer leader of the X-Men. I am leader of the X-Men because you let Beast die, and because Charles Xavier chose you 3 years ago, and Charles Xavier been gone for 3 years. So you were the leader of the X-Men that Charles picked, and it's 3 years later, and the world's different, and I'm gonna be the leader, right?" So at this point, Cyclops is like, "I'm ordering you back to the X Mansion." Green Goblin is witnessing this, right? He's like, "I'm ordering you back to the X Mansion." And Jubilee's like, "You don't order me anywhere," right? Like, right? And so then Cyclops powers up his visor. And here's what Cyclops was thinking. And I'm kind of giving you a little bit of an inside view from the Dungeon Master's perspective. So he is powering up his visor, and he fully powers up. And the reason why is he's about to go against Jubilee. Jubilee is a very serious opponent, right? Like, she's been trained by Wolverine, Charles Xavier. She's battle hardened at this point, right? So he needs the juice, right? So he does it. He pulls all of his power into his visor, right? And so at this point, Green Goblin gets his turn, and he says, "I'm going to make it so that his visor is firing at a specific frequency using my Ghost in the Machine power." Right? I'm like, okay. So he does that, but at this point, it's just changed the frequency of what's happening in Cyclops' visor. Then it becomes Storm's turn, and Storm hits Cyclops with a major bolt of lightning, right? Because he is targeting at this point Jubilee with all of his optic blast, right? He hasn't fired it, but he has prepared it, right? And so she does this, and what ends up happening is she shocks him so bad, right, that he can't control his firepower, right? And at that point, Cyclops realizes he's targeting Jubilee. If he releases the energy, and Jubilee doesn't block it successfully, she dies, right? Cyclops doesn't want to do that. At the last second, he decides he absolutely does not want to kill Jubilee with his optic blast, right? And he had powered up to the point where he could do that because he was certain that she'd be able to because he really thought he was going into a prolonged battle, right? But the reality is he can't control having all that power in his optic visor at the moment. He elects not to send it at Jubilee, and he literally says release. And actually, Green Goblin made a logic roll and heard him say release. So he just simply releases all the power so that it won't, generally, like, without going through the visor, without targeting Jubilee, and literally blows his own head off with his power, right? Just literally blows his head clean off. Cyclops is dead, right? So this skirmish between Jubilee and Cyclops ends with the two of them in a ready to throw blows, right? And Jubilee knew this was coming, right? That they were going to fight. She didn't know that Cyclops would be killed by himself because of a lightning bolt to his chest from Storm, right? And Green Goblin is standing next to Storm, right? And we're going to end it there. And every single word you just heard is my humble opinion on Marvel Multiverse role-playing game Iron Snow campaign. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider like, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.